I'm feeling so blessed to be alive, so blessed to have walked my own journey, so blessed to have been the awkward one, so blessed to have wanted to be on my own, away from people, and hearing that voice within telling me, analysing what other people were doing rather than interacting with them. I needed to understand why I was able to be aware of what they were doing. And by doing that, following my own path led me to my passions of being able to observe and hold space. And this week, watching the 3 people that have joined my latest program, they have literally stepped up at light speed, because what we work on is we're saying to each other, your new programs that you create are not about what you are passionate about. They're not actually about that. The programs that you create are actually about you showing that you can live your life in your passion. So although we bring through our own methodology of how one would do that, what you actually learn from either entering someone else's program or then designing one is that you're actually just trying to teach people that they're here to live their passion. So if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are sitting in a space of wondering what to do with your life, all you're doing when looking at other people for help is you're tuning in to a higher frequency of learning to live via your highest truth, your own. So the people that have joined my program, we're not analysing how to make a program. They're making a program from a multidimensional higher self embodiment of following their passion. It's very different when you're on this higher conscious timeline. It's not being creative from a greedy and goal-driven way. You're actually creating from the perspective that you can create, that you have limitless opportunities, that you are here to expand, that you're here to actually evolve. Humans are here to evolve. And when you step into serving, what you're doing is you're saying, I'm activating my power of choice to actually be aware that I have a choice to evolve. And in doing so, you're inspiring others to activate that choice. Because evolution has been sold to make people think that they don't have a part to play in evolution. Evolution's been taught in history wrong. It's been taught like, oh, it's just something that happens around you, and you'll kind of look back and you won't know how it's happened. And it's been taught in this very distorted way. But I'll tell you what, the little animal that came out, the little creature that came out the sea and walked on land, and then that animal turned into this, whatever, if you're going on an evolutionary process, they made a choice to walk out the water. They made a choice to do that. So when you're starting a program and you're starting to feel creative and starting to like honour your own passions, you actually have to say to yourself, this is evolution, whether it's just my evolution or the evolution of the entire species, which it is if you choose to evolve, because you are the species, right? It's actually showing humanity that evolution is a choice point. And when you start focusing on creating from you following your own passion, you realise that by you doing so, you teach others the main method of your program to be the creator of their reality. So the people that are doing my course, they're stepping up to serve what they have used to be able to get to the space of being confident enough to enjoy their life from following their passion. Therefore, they're aware of the responsibility that they have. They're aware of the responsibility for the entire human species to evolve from their programs, meaning that they know they're essential, meaning that they know that they're lit up by the passion of helping others, serving others. But it's from this multidimensional perspective of realising that it's their journey. Creating a program is your journey. If you're an online entrepreneur or you're thinking, okay, I feel like I could help the world through this thing that I love, well, it's not actually the thing you love that you're teaching. You're teaching that you overcome the doubt to walk into your divinity. An online program doesn't teach you, hey Colin, an online program doesn't teach you how to become enlightened. It teaches you that you're aware that someone else is doing it, therefore you could too, but in your own unique way. Enlightenment's like watching someone else be able to say what matters to them. Enlightenment is knowing that someone else has worked out how they can go from being annoyed to being happy faster. And although you want to learn from their method, it's not that they're trying to actually teach you. They're trying to show you that if they decided that they could live their life in their highest passion, then they're actually asking you to observe the same thing about yourself. So I get so proud when my clients they're actually doing things that hasn't been seen on the planet, because they're aware that they're not trying to copy. They're aware that they're not trying to make a business. Their business is following their passion in their power of being creative. Therefore, their responsibility to empower others to be creative is more their motivation, but only from them continually anchoring that they want to experience that for themselves. Consciousness evolving is each cell in each moment choosing to create for itself. For itself. So although in our programs our motivation is to serve others, our actual desire is that you go and create your own thing from it. No one's asking someone to follow their teachings and be their guru. We're trying to live our own truth and live our own passions, and therefore that's the only thing that you're aligning to our energy about, that you're looking going, well, how come they're doing it? What are they doing? And all we're doing, all an enlightened person is doing, is saying I matter and I count, and I have the ability to choose what I do in this moment. And in that moment of being aware that you can do that, we're actually activating other people to make that same choice. To not be a follower. You're not here to follow. You are not here to follow anyone. You can buy as many programs as you want. You can buy all the programs. You can get 10 coaches. You can invest in all the books. But all the books are showing you is that someone else said their life counts. Someone else said, I think what I believe should be heard. That's all online programs are doing. That's all a teacher's trying to help you do. They're trying to say to you in any format possible, don't follow me. Activate that if I could stand up and rise and say my truth, could you? But then if your truth obviously is painful and it's not actually yours, that's why you use the methodology that we bring that then get you to speak your authentic truth. So if you're not speaking your authentic truth, what exactly are you trying to teach someone? If you've got a method that you want to teach someone, okay, you can teach me any method, how to bake a cake, fine. But someone that's like, the bigger lesson that you could learn in doing their program is that you actually honour that they rose in their truth, meaning that you believe that you can too. Meaning that you believe that's what you're here for. Meaning that that's the highest truth that you want to get to in creating a program or in joining one. So although my programs are designed to allow people to go self-employed in a multidimensional aspect, and therefore they do, my intention isn't that. They do, and I'm teaching them to be self-employed, to have global impact and to change the universe, but the intention is just to activate the actual meaning of life. The meaning of life to actually consciously choose to evolve. That's what I want to teach them. And because then they are taught that, they go on and create in their own way. That's what I want. It's not a business course. It's a multi-dimensional, soul-aligned meaning of life program. that's translated into them becoming self-employed. But the only thing they're going to be teaching in their programs is their ultimate goal through working with me, and their ultimate goal of activating that in their life is to say, I want to empower other people to realize that they have the power to create, to lead themselves, to understand the meaning of their life. So whatever programs you're trying to sign up to, look at it from that perspective, that that person deeply should only be wanting you, and like kind of empowering you to actually see yourself through the eyes that someone else has risen, therefore you can. Not that you're starting a business to be self-employed. You're not. It's to get you somewhere else. Because once you're self-employed, guess what? You have to evolve into a next point. But if you've got the anchor in that your mission in life is to become so aware that you create your life, that your products are actually being sold and positioned to help people realize that deeper truth. That it doesn't matter if someone wants to do a program on gardening or do a program on, let's say, meditation. No, let's say something more physical, working out. That the ultimate goal is that we want them to then leave that program saying, wow, I feel confident in gardening for myself. I feel confident about exercising for myself. Hey, Helen. But that I also feel confident that from doing their program that's taught me that they actually wanted to share their passion, that I then too feel confident in sharing my own. That's what it's all about. I'm so glad you're here, Helen. I'm so glad you're here, because the changes Helen's made, they're stepping into this new boundary of realising that her heart is what will help the world. But in her sharing her own truth, that's how others will actually be able to receive from her. The way that we actually impact people is by being so real that there's no distortion, that their ego's not actually trying to figure out what the person's saying. You can feel that the point of me being alive is to help people become more conscious. Like, that's my purpose. But that's because I want to be more conscious. I'm not trying to sell conscious programs to benefit me. I'm selling it because it benefits you, but it benefits me because I got to evolve from that. So anytime that you're now choosing to do something, the people that you follow, the people that you're choosing to invest your money in, ask, is this program going to give me the perspective that I can do that? Just from them rising, are you going to be able to see if they can do it? They're proof that there's some kind of truth in this. There must be something in this that's saying, I can do this, I can help people. But then you anchor in your own passion of who you are, of how happy, what's the happiest thing that makes you, what's the thing that makes you most happy, and then you blend these two. But to add that third point, that choosing to evolve is a choice. It's not something that happens in science, in history. Humans actually have the potential to consciously choose to evolve. So while it's been sold as this thing like, oh, then the animal randomly had to walk out the water and go onto land, the freaking animal chose to do that. Okay? So let's just upgrade and rewire even the perspective of evolution to be like, evolution is a choice, was a choice. Was a choice. And obviously there's a lot of different perspectives of evolution, like things were just put here, nothing actually evolved. Take whatever you want from that, but learn this one point. Evolution was a choice. Evolution was a choice. Okay? You don't, if you want to grow angel wings, you can't say, oh, well, no, I don't know how that will happen. That'll take billions of years in evolution. Are you trying to grow angel wings? Do you know that that little sea creature didn't try to grow some legs? Did you know? Do you know that for a fact? Or did you just get taught that by people that are telling you evolution isn't a choice? It's a biological thing. How do you know that a little sea creature didn't say, I wonder what's going on over there. I actually fancy walking on that land. How do you know? So when you're stepping into your business, try and say to yourself, unless I actually want to experience a higher truth, unless I actually look at people and decide and I'm able to view them with the perspective that they must be actually doing something, they must be actually choosing in some way to evolve rather than waiting. Yes, I don't buy that evolution is subject to adapting to the environment. Yeah. Oh, I love that, subject to adapting to the environment. I mean, that in itself is like this nice weavy, trippy, psychedelic thing, because it's like, what environment are you in? If you're in a really negative environment, it's like, now it's time to adapt, to be stronger and more resilient. If we're in a, let's just say, a global situation like this, it allows us to say, now's the time to step up. But I wanted to jump on today and say that, like, people rising in their power are only rising because they've got mentors that are actually allowing them to believe it's possible from observing their mentor doing it too. There's no follow the leader. It's activating that if someone is passionate about their life, like myself and consciousness, then other people can be activated in feeling just as powerful in their own passions. So I'm passionate about helping people expand their consciousness. It doesn't mean you have to be obsessed with expanding your consciousness. It means that by working with someone that's passionate about expanding their consciousness, I ask you, what are you passionate about then? It's not this thing when you work with a mentor like, oh, I'm now going to be a meditation teacher. You're not trying to be a meditation teacher by working with me. You're trying to say, you live by your passion, Emily. Oh, could I? And then we go through the process of that. So whoever you're hiring, whoever you're working with, look at them from that perspective of, are they going to allow me to believe that I'm here to evolve? Are they going to allow me to believe that I can experience living in my passion? And are they going to allow me to believe that life is about a choice in evolving? Because you got them three there, then you got a good teacher. But if you're hiring coaches or you're working with people that are telling you to do certain things certain ways, are you really evolving? Haven't they just done that? If evolution is about expanding and creating, why are you copying? There's no such thing as doing the same thing, really. But in evolution, why would you copy? Why would you do ABC? You know, I inspire people to do it their own way, because that's going to actually bring in and anchor their highest frequency and their highest joy, meaning that they're going to have more clients anyway, and that's actually the point of wanting to lead. That's the only point of wanting to lead, right? Us observing that someone else is powerful enough to sink into their own truth. That's what you want people to actually experience, their own truth. Not yours, not mine, their own truth. Alright? I love you so much. I'm going back to my Mary Kondo, tidying up. It's amazing. So get on it. I love you so much. Rock around. And if you want to experience multidimensional spiritual business coaching, where you're actually anchoring your passion, not copying someone else's, then come and see me. Love you so much. Bye everyone.